video, we're gonna talk about how to boost digestion, not only for a flatter tummy, but feeling lighter and free all around. Starting with these 3 simple steps that you can do at home anytime. Number 1, chew your food. Number 2, boost enzymes and stomach acid. And number 3, love your gallbladder. So step number 1 is to chew your food. The process of digestion and breaking down your food starts in your mouth, not in your gut. So when we chew our food really well, we have enzymes actually in our saliva that help break down our food and begin to even send signals to our brain of satiety, hunger, fullness. So if you can imagine, when people don't feel satisfied very easily, oftentimes feel more hungry even after they've finished a meal, they need something else. A lot of times that can stem back to like, well, did we chew and break down our food well? Or were we just chew, chew, swallow? Chew, chew, swallow. Again, digestion starts in your mouth. And ideally, we want to chew our food until it's fully liquefied, meaning we don't want that chunk of chicken to be a chunk of chicken when we swallow it. The average amount of chews or bites per piece of food is going to vary depending on what type of food it is. So if we are breaking down chicken, it's going to be different than say like applesauce or a smoothie or rice or anything in that nature. However, that said, even things like our smoothies and our soups, actually, if we can begin to chew that in our mouth, that is a way to up-level your digestion and your digestive superpowers to feel less bloated, less constipated, more nourished, more satisfied overall with our meals. One of my favorite experiments to do is if I'm eating out, or say I'm like at Whole Foods Market just eating in the cafe area, as a nutritionist, I will sometimes look at like other people and just how they eat. Like, I'm just very curious, kind of how I'm curious on like how you poo, that kind of thing. It's just things nutritionists do. But looking around at other people, there's so many that I see chew, chew, swallow, chew, chew, swallow. Again, that chunk of chicken being a chunk of chicken when they swallow, or maybe finishing a sandwich in like 3 to 5 bites. And this is a really great check-in for yourself as well. Like, am I a slow eater? Am I a fast eater? Am I a medium speed eater? Ideally, a meal that we sit down to that maybe isn't just like a liquid meal, is gonna take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes to finish if we're chewing our food well and eating an appropriate amount for our body. A smoothie or a soup may take about in the 15-minute range even, and that may seem slow, but really taking time to savor and enjoy and chew and taste our food is a big part of the eating experience and digestive process. So this is number 1 step for boosting digestion that is oftentimes completely overlooked by many people, and that can help you with up-leveling your gut and how you feel. Step number 2 would be boost your enzymes and your stomach acid. So you have enzymes and stomach acid naturally in your body. Your stomach acid is obviously in your stomach, and then your enzymes are produced by your pancreas and your gallbladder primarily to help break down your food, kind of like the game Pac-Man, if you can remember. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Chomp, chomp, chomp. That's what enzymes help your body do, further break down food once it's in your system. If we're low in stomach acid and enzymes, we are gonna be more prone to bloating and constipation, yes, as well as things like leaky gut, where our gut lining is ideally gonna look like this, very strong and selectively permeable, allowing certain things in and out. However, if we have leaky gut, we have foods that are gonna leak into the bloodstream, or toxins, and undigested particles that are going to cause some more systemic inflammation, or can. Skin issues, autoimmune issues, brain fog, you name it, is a lot of times related to a leaky gut. So when we don't have proper enzymes or stomach acid flowing and going, that can be some side effects there. So what causes low stomach acid and low enzymes in the first place? A lot of people don't have proper amounts of these things, primarily due to stress, like the gut-brain axis strikes again. And stress, remember, is both mental, emotional, and physical stresses. All or any of those can contribute to that if it's ongoing and unaddressed in our lives. It's kind of like if you stomp on that anthill, what happens to the ants? The ants may not survive. Well, same thing can happen with stress. We stomp out not only our healthy gut bugs, but our healthy digestive enzyme and stomach acid production. So a big piece of addressing like the enzymes and stomach acid puzzle is going to be to address stress in our lives, yes. And we can also supplement with these things if we're low on stomach acid or enzymes. So a season of taking some, we call it HCl, hydrochloric acid, or apple cider vinegar shots is going to help with increasing stomach acid. And we can also take digestive enzymes in a capsule form that help with the digestive process. The goal with these things is not to be on them forever, and nor will you have to be on them forever. As you boost your gut health as a whole, your body can learn to increase these things again. There's certain foods as well that have enzymes in them very naturally. For example, pineapple and mango are a great example of certain fruits that have enzymes in them that can help with digestion. Raw dairy as well is another great example, and a reason why dairy of our ancestors' days is completely different than our dairy today is because they did have these digestive enzymes that made it more absorbable in that milk protein. I love to go to the farmer's market here locally where there is a farmer that produces raw milk, and that's typically where you're going to find raw milk products or raw yogurt products to begin to experiment with down the line as we expand the diet later and maybe experiment with some dairy again. I know for this season, I typically will recommend no dairy just to allow the gut to rest and digest and integrate that for also increasing our enzymes as well. Probiotic rich foods too tend to have some enzymes in them. So things like sauerkraut, pickled vegetables, pickles, fermented coconut yogurt, kefir, the list goes on there, but those would be some other food sources of enzymes. A couple other things I'll say, ways to know, do I have low stomach acid? Do I have low enzymes? Would be, how do certain foods make you feel? So for example, when I eat protein, when I eat beef, when I eat chicken, when I eat fish, I feel like it's sitting like a brick in my stomach. Or I just don't feel that great when I eat meat. A lot of times can be related to stomach acid because it's most needed to break down protein. Certain signs that we may be low on enzymes could be related to protein, yes. Oftentimes though will be related to carbohydrates and fiber, things like sweet potatoes or vegetables or certain fruits. Like, do we have enough enzymes? Or feeling like certain fatty foods even end up either in the toilet or make you feel nauseous. That can be a sign that your gallbladder is not producing enough enzymes and bile to support the breakdown of those fats. So I've got a cheat sheet for you in your program, so don't worry too much about those details. Just know we can boost our enzymes and our stomach acid to improve digestion as a whole.